Holy moly, what an episode this was.
Shut up and sit down.
Yo, what's good, it's Abodi Reviews and heavy spoilers for episode 85 titled Traitor, You've Been Warned. And let's just get straight into what I liked about this episode. Let's talk about the good. Holy moly, Studio MAPPA went all out with that beautiful animation, and even the art was looking pretty consistent as well. It was my favorite looking episode since the Annie eating the pie episode. Some of the ODM gear scenes with Ryan and Annie swishing back and forth and the Flotch and the Jaegerist just swinging up and down like Spider-Man looked bloody brilliant, mate. Like, oh my god, I was absolutely loving some of those sequences. Mikasa charging in to help Kiyomi was just absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, I was absolutely in love with the fluidity of that scene. This was also the first time we got to see Annie's female Titan in MAPPA form, and it looks pretty damn consistent and very similar to the with Studio One. I feel like MAPPA have come to the point where I cannot tell whether the animation on some of the Titans are 2D or 3D, because there were some points where it did look 2D and some parts where it looked 3D, but they blended so seamlessly that it just wasn't distracting at all. I was flipping enjoying some of these motions. The character art was also pretty vibrant and quite colourful. I noticed Armin's hair was super yellow and saturated compared to how his hair was in like part 1, in my opinion. Definitely the first episode in quite some time to actually really look like the Wit Studio seasons in terms of character designs and colouring. The gore scenes with Armin getting shot by Samuel, my gosh. I was actually worried that they were going to censor that scene, but they just went all out with that beautiful MAPPA gore and blood. Damn, son. And while we're on the topic about Samuel and Daz, it was just great to see these guys back from like season 1 and 2. It was just so sad seeing how Samuel and Daz, who were friends and recruits with the scouts, have to be put in such a painful situation. And Armin and Connie, oh my god, when Connie was just screaming and crying after he shot Samuel, the feels, the emotions was just heightened all the way over 9,000 in this episode. I loved how Armin had this moment where he thought back to when Bertel was talking about how someone has to be the one to stain their hands with blood, and how Armin had to do what he had to do to save Connie. Magif also had a pretty interesting moment in this episode where he just got absolutely mental with Yelena after finding out that the Titans have crossed the sea and are pretty much on the shores of Mali by now, and he only stopped hurting Yelena when Gabby just sort of appeared. And it's just so interesting how Magif is just, he's starting to get more of an attachment to Gabby and Falco, seeing that these are just children who were brainwashed by him and the rest of these Malian dudes and dudettes and their parents, and he just feels so damn responsible for the actions and behaviors of like Reiner and Annie and the rest of the cadets for the scenarios that happened in the past, and how Armin just refuses his apology for Marley's actions, as pretty much they're in the sort of the same boat. They are getting their hands dirty, and they got their hands dirty in the past when they attacked Marley. Reiner also has this moment where he flashbacks to when Eren tells him that he's more like him, and it got me thinking, when Reiner says he understands what Eren meant by how they're the same, I think what he meant was that if Eren was in Reiner's shoes, he probably would have destroyed the walls. And I loved how MAPPA reanimated this scene with Eren talking to Reiner. It looked a bit different from part 1. I much preferred this design, and like it looked so much more refined and really nice to look at. There's no true good or bad person. Everyone's just doing what they feel is right in their own mindset. Oh yeah, Yelena crying when Magik was breaking her arm. My god, that scene was definitely hard to watch, man. Like, oh god, I didn't think MAPPA would go all out making that scene so damn brutal to watch. This is also the first episode where I don't actually have complaints. There's nothing I didn't dislike in this episode. I thought everything about this episode was a lot better than I imagined it would be in a way. It just managed to pull the heartstrings even more than how the manga did it, and for that I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10 and an A star. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, but tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favourite and least favourite parts? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns and more. Stay tuned for my anime versus manga comparison video. It might be uploaded by Tuesday, but stay tuned for that. With that said, thank you for watching, and as always, Abodi Reviews signing out.